And now, mind you, every time that I've made a payment on this car, it's been at the dealership. The dealership has had possession of it currently longer than I have owned the car.
And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome back to another video. And this one is a weird video for me to make because I need to explain something. I need to help convey some logic across to just a handful of people that can't help but to get extremely angry with me, but also with all of you who have asked me in the same level of confusion, why are these Daytona EV owners so incredibly indignant against the people who are criticizing them based on logic and real life, real world, factual issues people are having with these cars? Like literally people getting bricked, people ending up in the shop for months at a time, weeks at a time, parts not coming in, people needing to or trying to lemon law them. There's class action, lawsuit discussions happening on these groups. The people are mad. People are sad. Another guy with like 300,000 views shared how his seat pinched his daughter between the seat and the door, and the car was flawed with when it comes to the paint, to the electronics, to everything about the car. And that's supposed to be just ignored. And the fact that I talk about it, or TK or Butter or any of the other YouTubers talk about it, we're haters. We're deemed haters. Yet on the same exact like line here, there's another group of people who, if we came on here and started saying, wow, that's a pretty cool car, it's an amazing car, forget about the fact that like so many of them are broken down that it's hard to ignore. It's not like isolated incidences. It's like most people, if not every YouTuber's experienced it, that if we started saying, wow, those are the greatest cars ever, they're the greatest EV ever made, despite the fact that their range sucks, they're in the shop all the time, they can't beat a Tesla Model Y performance, and hey, you know what, but it's the greatest thing ever. If we started saying that, we would get roasted in the comments. As a matter of fact, anytime I've even slightly complimented the Daytona EV by saying that, yes, I drove one and it drove wonderfully, it was a pleasure, literally nothing about the driving experience was negative to me. Even though I wasn't allowed to video it, unfortunately, because even the dealership was afraid that I was going to bash the car. So this is the insanity that the world that I live in here. So if I said it was great, I would get roasted like crazy. Car drove great. I think the car looks amazing. It looks beautiful. I don't think there's another EV on the market, and this is my opinion, and I'm going to get roasted just for saying this, that looks better than this car. I haven't seen one where I haven't just been like, damn, that's a freaking nice looking car. The designers deserve to get trophies and awards. Now, I know a lot of you are having trouble with that because the old Challenger and Chargers were so beloved to us. But we all were screaming for years that body style needed to be updated, that the interiors needed to be updated. People would trash them and say, I can't believe people paid that kind of money for a 10, 12-year-old version of the same exact car with wide body fenders on it, or the same exact interior, the crap you can have, all the complaints that took place. And now they deliver something that I believe was the best possible opportunity and option and frankly rendering of the Charger. I do. And I don't know how they could improve upon that. Well, Brad, they can make it lighter. It's like, because it's an EV, it's going to be heavy. But the six-pack's going to be heavy too. It's also all-wheel drive. We screamed because we didn't have that too. So I'm not allowed to say something good about it. But I just did. But when I say something bad about it, holy moly, the groups go wild. At least the people that I'm trying to help. Now, when I do finally connect, I had one guy that got really mad at me and, called me a clickbait warrior and all this other crap like months ago. And his full name was online. So I just Googled him and got his phone number and called him up and said, can we talk about this? And we did. And Quincy, I appreciate our relationship. And we text almost every other day, and he's the coolest guy ever. And, it started off with, we're not the same. I have nothing in common with you. And I want to talk to you, Brad, to, you know what? I see what you're trying to do. And while it hurt because I was one of those people that made the same decision you're kind of making fun of us about making, you're right. I shouldn't be mad at you. The car has problems. The car has serious problems. And people are spending serious money on these cars and making serious commitments to these cars only to be put in horrible, horrible situations. And while some of you who've made the decision and are just dealing with the problems and letting them roll off your back because it's one of your many cars, for others, it's their only car, and they're not able to get to work. They're not able to get home from work. They're not able to get home from the grocery store. They're not able to get out of their driveway. These are problems that are real. They're not able to charge at certain charging stations because the car crashes out with the software. So all these are problems, and they're real problems, and I thought about just putting on the screen all the problems. I don't have a screen big enough. You don't have a screen big enough. I started to screenshot a whole bunch just yesterday, and I'm talking about the Daytona forums online, not just the Facebook groups. They're all over the place. They're everywhere, and they continue to get posted every day. Yesterday, while I'm getting chewed out by a guy on Facebook for posting videos about that car and, quote, making fun of him for buying one, I think I was pretty empathetic and kind in the video, but also for flair, you got to make a little poke here and there. While we're having that battle, new posts are coming in from people saying, "Okay, my car has been in the shop longer than I've owned the car. Like I've bought the car and they've had it longer than I've had the car. It bricked again, 4th time it's in the shop. Greatest car ever though. I love it if it wasn't for these issues." I would love to have 0 content because the car is fixed. That would be awesome. If it was perfect, or not even perfect, if the problems were so rare that I could be debunked instantly by people saying he's nitpicking 1 or 2 random situations. But it's like throwing a freaking dart at the wall, and I mean, you're not going to miss the wall. You're going to hit the wall. That's how easy it is to find someone with a horrible story, which I've also played out and given my channel to them to talk. But then I'm accused of doing this because I want to get the clicks, and get that YouTube money. So I'm going to share this with everybody now because I think this video, while may not be a popular one and may not get many views, the people who need to see it will see it. Because sometimes I think, why do I do this? Why do I do this? Why do I take this grief in the comment section sometimes by trolls? Why do I fight with a guy with an anonymous screen name, talk about being a freaking coward, an anonymous screen name who's talking trash in one of the groups and bashing me? Why do I do this? Well, it's for the money. Of course it's for the money. Well, let me show you the money. I want to show you the money. Because at a certain point, you just decide that you're going to help people, and maybe in the end, it'll pay off for me down the road. And if it doesn't, that's the gamble I'm willing to take. But if it does pay off for you because Dodge gets so sick and tired of seeing my videos, which I can tell you absolutely with 100% certainty they are watching, the execs are watching, mine, TK's, Butters, and many others, then you know what? At least something came out of it. I make plenty of money at my other job. YouTube, it's let's just call it what it is. It's turned into a fun hobby. It takes my mind out of the rest of the universe. It allows me to go into a creative mindset. It allows me to go into an altruistic, help people mindset and let go of all the pressures that take place in what is a massively high pressure career that I have and love, but have. The necessity for me to unplug from my daily life, to have some level of sanity, is where YouTube and all of you have filled a void. Spend as much time as I can with my wife, my daughter. We have this beautiful life. But this is something fun. And since I can't get my daughter to go fishing with me anymore, this is This is what I do. And I'm going to do it until I decide one day I'm not going to do it. And then I promise you one thing, when I disappear from here, I won't just disappear. I will do a video and tell you all why I'm leaving and say goodbye. I'll give you a farewell, because one thing I hate more than anything is all the YouTubers that have never said goodbye, that just disappeared. I'm talking about you, Life of Palos and Summit Life, who said you loved us, you loved your viewers, we appreciate you, thanks for the support, appreciate you buying the merch, and then one day you're gone from the internet, and no explanation. We worry that you died, we worry that you got abducted by aliens, and then people go find you on Facebook just living your life. You just said goodbye. I promise you I will say goodbye when that time comes, unless I'm dead. Knock on wood, hopefully that doesn't happen. And then I have instructions in my will, I'll put them in today, that my wife comes on here and tells you goodbye, because it's just the right thing to do. But let me show you that it's not about the damn money. Boy, this rant's probably going to go freaking real good with you guys. Hopefully some of the comments are positive. Here is my behind-the-scenes YouTube dashboard. Let me show you the income I'm getting on a monthly basis, if I can show you monthly. Shoot. Yeah, let's just go to analytics here. Monthly. So here's the last 28 days. A whopping $2,252. And, look, I'll show you what I've made year to date, if I can. Last 365 days, let's say 2025. $19,740. And revenue's down from last year. Election year drove revenue to the moon. This is a fraction of what I made last year, and I'm still doing it. So clearly, if I'm doing it still with revenue down, it's not for the money. This is it's not life-changing when you figure out what it is per month. But let me show you per video, or one video where this guy was spun a little bit. Here is, since published, my revenue on this video, $17.87. So if you think I'm here for the money, hopefully this dispels that, because I don't get to walk out of my office here and tell my wife and daughter that, hey, guess what? Thank goodness I did a video today, because we wouldn't be able to afford a latte and a half at Starbucks if it wasn't for that video. We're barely getting by now, and thank goodness this pushed us over the top. This got us where we needed to be. So anybody with a half a brain would go, why in the hell is this guy doing this? Taking this much heat, this much drama? Well, at a certain point, it's because I really want to help. I could roll around in my driveway, do installs. I could flip cars. I can do I might do that stuff down the road. But right now, I just feel like I got to push through this with you all. And I think we're rounding the end. I think Dodge will have to get the Daytona squared away or just cancel it. And I think we'll come out the other end, hopefully with some better products. But if the six-pack comes out and it turns out to be a horrible, unreliable piece of crap, then those group members will hate me, because I'm going to call that out too. But that leads me to the end of this video, which is the definition or the explanation. Why are these guys so mad at us trying to help them and exposing Dodge for delivering a horribly crappy product to market in hopes that their problems get solved? Why are they mad at us? Why do they hate us? Why do they trash us? Hell, one guy in one of the other groups was trashing TK one day. Another guy on one of the forums was fighting with Butter until that guy finally got banned. But, why when we're trying to support and help, do they get mad? Well, here's why. And I freaking figured it out. I figured it out. I didn't figure it out. AI figured it out. So let's go back here. And when I do, just know I probably spend more time thinking before I go to sleep every night than I sleep. If you're like that, comment below. It's a wonderful life. The brain just never stops. All I do is think. I'm trying to figure things out in the world, trying to solve problems, trying to figure out how to move my family forward, do bigger, better things. What can I? Tons of ideas. Sometimes I even type them in my phone, and I even dream about stuff and type in my phone, wake up and go, what the hell was I possibly thinking? Some ideas turn out to be good, some don't, but I don't stop thinking. And one thing I've always felt an attachment to is human psychology, the desire to understand people. And while the world's gotten really crazy right now, bad is good is bad, left is right, right is left. I mean, the whole world's upside down and nobody makes any sense anymore. It's even more intriguing to me to try to understand my fellow human being because there's so much strange thought going on. And in this world right now, when it comes to this Daytona EV, it's really crazy, and I needed to understand why. So I created a prompt, dug in, asked an in-depth question to AI, and ended up getting this response. And here's why they buy the car breaks, car beats the daylights out of them, and they still defend the car and get mad at us for trashing the car despite the car being trash. Like, that makes no sense. You think they would be trashing the car, but they're mad. And here's what it came down to. And we've all heard this saying before, but to really get in depth with it is enlightening. So people tend to praise their purchases to others. So why are they out there just touting this car so much and mad when people are trashing it when there's tons of ammunition to trash it with? They tend to praise their purchases to others because of psychological factors like cognitive dissonance, the need for social proof, and a desire to be seen as a credible source of information. This behavior reinforces their own decision and provides a powerful form of word-of-mouth persuasion. But the part I want you to really focus on here, which explains why this is so crazy, is it reinforces their own decision. And we'll go into more in depth than that now. So cognitive biases that reinforce the purchase. So why are they doing this? Well, post-purchase rationalization. Immediately after buying something, particularly an expensive or highly involved one or item, a person may feel buyer's remorse. I do all the time. Every time I buy something, like, what the hell was I thinking? What did I do? Or regret. To reduce this discomfort, which is an absolute discomfort, it will keep you up at night if you have remorse about something. It will weigh on you heavily until that goes away, and you have to mentally work through it. And this is how they do it. They mentally justify the purchase by exaggerating its benefits and downplaying any faults. Does that sound like the Daytona owners? Praising the items to others is a public way of affirming this internal rationalization. They've got to do it just for themselves. It's not for any of us, because if anything, it's leading more people into the misery that they have been experiencing, but they can't deal with the remorse when their car's in the shop or on a flatbed. They have to still continue to justify and rationalize what is a bad decision versus just get up and say, this is a bad decision. And you know what? Thanks, Brad, TK, Butter, for saying stuff. How about this? Choice supportive bias. Tell me if this doesn't all sound like this situation. This is the memory tendency by retroactively ascribe positive, check this out, the memory's tendency to retroactively ascribe positive qualities to the options we chose while negatively assessing the options we rejected. By highlighting the positives to others, a person reinforces their memory that they made the best choice. This says, by avoiding and ignoring the bad, saying it's a first-year car, it's not that big of a deal, all I had to do was jumpstart it, only needed a 12-volt battery. These things help them reinforce their memory that they still made the best choice because they are in absolute, stuck in that choice. They can't get out of that choice despite talking to lemon law lawyers. Hell, I remember another guy on YouTube got really mad at me when I was talking about this stuff on his channel in his comment section, and I was trying to support him, and ultimately he ended up having to lemon law his car. So it's like, I was just trying to help, but now you're on the other end mad at me for telling you this. It falls right into this. It was like, no, it's still the greatest car I've ever bought. It's the most beautiful car I've ever bought. Okay, great. That's awesome, but it's not. I literally liken this to, like, because it's such a nice looking car, to I literally was in a 1 year long relationship with a swimsuit model. She was by definition a 10 plus 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 plus. I was so shocked that someone that looked like that would be with my 5'9" self that I scratched my head every day. By the end of that year, I was on my knees praying to God to get me out of that relationship because she was such a disaster. And that's exactly how people feel about this car. It looks amazing, but it's not. Commitment and consistency. Once a person has made a public commitment to a choice by buying a product, they feel a psychological pressure to remain consistent with that decision. This is what's happening. This is why they can't see the good beyond, they just can't see the good that I'm trying to do. They're just mad, but they don't want to be mad at the thing because they need to hold on to, they have that pressure to remain consistent with their decision. By speaking positively about the item, despite it being a disaster, they are reinforcing their commitment to it both to themselves and their social circle, so they don't have to deal with the remorse or the embarrassment. It's still a great car, because none of us want to say, man, I screwed up, I bought a crappy car, and man, that didn't work out. Now this is embarrassing, and all my friends are going to make fun of me, and no, really, no. They're going to say, it's still the greatest car ever. I'd still do it again. That's why people say, would you do it all over again knowing what you know now? Absolutely, I certainly would. And here's the social influences that drive the public approval, social proof. People tend to assume that the actions of others reflect correct behavior in a given situation. Promoting a new purchase provides social proof to others. This acts as social validation, signaling that the product is desirable and of high quality, even when it's not. The desire for validation. People often seek validation for their decisions. Sharing positive feedback about a new purchase with friends and family or in groups and receiving a positive reaction can reassure the buyer that the decision was a good one. Endorphins are released and they feel better about the horrible thing that they did, and they don't want to admit it, but they get more people validating them. It's a great car. Nothing's happened to mine. Mine's been great. No. A week later, they're like, I'm on a flatbed. My car's in the shop for a month, and they can't get the parts for it. And yeah, but I still love it. It's still the greatest car I've ever had in my lifetime. Social identity. People often choose products that align with the identity of a group they belong to or want to join. If this doesn't tie those groups together, people often choose products that align with the identity of a group they belong to or want to join. Is that not the EV group, the EV people, and the Daytona people? Promoting a liked purchase affirms a connection to that social identity. They feel like they belong to a group, and if they bash that group, then they won't be part of that group. So when I bash that car, they want me out of the group. They don't want me part of that group. They don't want TK part of the group. They don't want Butter part of that group. They're mad at us for trashing the car. Like, downright, like, angry with us for doing it. Yet it's true. But they have to validate their decision. They have to be part of that group so badly that they can't acknowledge that this is not right. And at some point, though, the good news is like my friend Quincy, if you're watching, Thanks for the relationship, the friendship, and good to get to know you, and hope to meet you face to face one day. That once we got on the phone with each other and he realized that, no, my heart's in the right place. I'm sick of this. I wanted this thing to really be a win. Had that EV launched along with the 6-pack, along with the Hemi, or even along with the 6-pack, and been the greatest EV to ever get launched when it comes to reliability, I would have loved for that to have happened, because I think the car looked great, and I think there's a place in the world for that car. But unfortunately, they didn't stick the landing. They delivered a beautiful product, and it's been flawed. And my hope and prayer is that they fix it. And they fix it for every one of you out there that are dealing with this in your lives and being dragged through the dirt by these dealerships and these manufacturer holdups and delays and parts not being available and updates not working and 12-volt battery issues. I hope you're set free from those issues and they finally stick the landing but it's been now 8 solid months since the first one of those things got delivered to a dealership, and there has been no let up in the problems. They continue to happen, whether it's somebody who's had the car for a while or gets the car new, drives off the lot like a guy recently, and I just read his post. Why in the hell, if there's all these updates, why wouldn't they update it, change the 12-volt battery before they even deliver the car? They know it's going to be a problem. That way, there's like a chance that the new buyer doesn't have to return in a week and leave the car there for 2-3 weeks with no loaner car, with a payment due, and new insurance expense, which, by the way, everybody's been posting, it's significantly more expensive to insure this thing. And by the way, you need to pray you don't get in a car accident with that thing. Good luck getting parts. Good luck getting it fixed. Good luck getting the software problems and the electrical problems resolved. It's a whole new adventure. We'll do a video on that soon as well. So thanks for watching my long video, my rant, but I thought this helps us all understand what's going on. If you're one of those people, man, I love you. We're the brotherhood. I want to get you through this. And if you feel like you were made fun of, just stand up and laugh with us and go, yeah, sometimes we screw up. Because I have screwed up so much in my life, it would take another long video for me to go through all the stupid ass things that I've done that I look back. And yes, my friends made fun of me, my family made fun of me, and we laughed about it in the end. And I'm like, yeah, I will not make that mistake again, unless it's a Land Rover, and now we're on our 5th one, despite them being the biggest also piece of crap in the world. Sometimes you just repeat the mistakes because your wife wants you to. So that's okay, because she can't blame me for it. So with that, everybody, please like, subscribe, comment, share your feelings in the comments below. Be respectful, and or just beat me up. What the hell? It's like the thing. And I'm going to go spend that $17 now. Catch you later. Bye.
I probably got 400 to 500 miles of just trips back and forth to the dealer. It's got 2,102 miles on it currently at the dealership. And the dealership has had possession of it currently longer than I have owned the car. As far as days, it's been there.
Yeah, you're looking at 4 months, almost 4 months of paying for a car.